The 2024 NFL Draft is another day closer, and on this edition of NFL Daily by Chat Sports, we will break down Field Yates' latest ESPN NFL mock draft for the entire first round. We'll break down every single pick, show you what Field had to say, coming up in just a matter of moments. Tyler Jones here. Thanks for stopping by. Before we dive in to all the picks, let me ask you, who is a player that you want your favorite team to select in this April's NFL Draft? Whether it's in the first round, second round, or whenever it may be, give me a player that you'd like to see on your favorite team in 2024, and we'll get started with today's show. No surprise, the Bears projected to take Caleb Williams out of USC with the number 1 overall pick, but the draft really starts to get interesting at number 2. The Commanders on the clock instead of going Drake Maye, they go with Jayden Daniels, the Heisman Trophy-winning quarterback out of LSU, who's seen his stock rise quite a bit over the last several weeks. Maye doesn't have to wait too long to have his name called, though. He finds himself with the New England Patriots with the number 3 overall selection. And the Patriots starting a new era with Drake Maye as their next head coach, replacing Mac Jones and Bailey Zappi. How does Drake Maye fit into New England? Here's what Field had to say about the selection. Maye is a strike thrower when targeting the middle of the field, but he also shows nifty pocket agility to extend plays and has 16 rushing touchdowns over the past 2 seasons. As the Patriots embark on a new era under Drake Maye, they could build the new offense around Maye. Of those 3 quarterbacks, which one is the best in this year's draft? It's our pin comment today. Weigh in and tell us what you think. If it's Caleb Williams, type CW for Caleb Williams. If it's Jayden Daniels, type JD for Jayden Daniels. And if it is Drake Maye, type DM for Drake Maye and let us know who you believe is the best quarterback in the 2024 draft. Today's show is sponsored by PrizePicks. PrizePicks, the place to go for daily fantasy made easy. Here's how it works. You choose 2 or more players in any given category. Get the choice of more or less, whether you're talking fantasy points, passing yards, receiving yards, rushing yards, all sorts of different categories to choose from. You can mix and match different sports as well, from the NBA, NHL, golf, even a little NASCAR. I got something for you here with the Daytona 500, the Great American Race coming up this weekend. Going to play a little NASCAR fantasy on PrizePicks. I got Tyler Reddick, who won the duel at Daytona on Thursday night. They have more than 20.5 fantasy points. And I got Bubba Wallace. They have more than 45.5 fantasy points. Let's say I put $20 down, and all 3 of those, in those 2 hit, we're making $60 on PrizePicks. Play along with me. PrizePicks.com/CLNS. Promo code CLNS for a $100 deposit match on your first entry. The link is in the comments and description of today's video. Let's go racing. PrizePicks.com/CLNS. The 4th selection, the Arizona Cardinals get some receiver help for Kyler Murray as they get the best receiver of this draft, Marvin Harrison Jr., out of Ohio State with that 4th pick. The Chargers, under new head coach Jim Harbaugh, they get some help on the offensive line to protect Justin Herbert. They go Joe Alt, the offensive tackle, out of Notre Dame. Number 6, the New York Football Giants. They go receiver with Malik Nabers out of LSU. That offense certainly could use all the weapons they could get at this point with the lack thereof on that offense right now. 7, the Tennessee Titans. They snag up Rome Odunze, the wide receiver from Washington. Had an incredible season, led the nation in a lot of statistics this past year. Washington, of course, played in the national championship game, and Odunze was one of the best parts of that offense. Number 8, the Atlanta Falcons. They go edge rusher. This is where we find Dallas Turner. And Dallas Turner I like a lot, but you look at the projections out there, it's really all over the place with Dallas Turner. Some people think that he could be as high as the top 5 pick. Some think he might even fall out of the top 20 potentially here. Atlanta getting the best pass rusher in this draft. Why Atlanta at number 8 for Dallas Turner? Here's more from Field Yates. New coach Raheem Morris worked wonders with an inexperienced Rams defense in 2023, but the personnel is in better shape in Atlanta right now, and Turner would provide a high upside, versatile building block off the edge. Now, I think Turner's the best defensive player in this draft. Do you agree? Weigh in the comment section. Tell us what you think. Who is the best defensive player in the 2024 NFL Draft? Give me a name and let me know. We are covering the draft like no one else is here on NFL Daily by Chat Sports, as we're bringing you mock drafts. We are giving you all the news and rumors surrounding the draft as well. We are your NFL Draft headquarters right here on NFL Daily. If you want more draft content, this is the channel for you. Subscribe now for free, youtube.com/chatsportstv, and you'll be glad you did. At 9, the Chicago Bears with their second pick in the first round. They go with Latu, the edge rusher from UCLA, to help out that defense. The Jets go offensive tackle Olu from Penn State with the pick for some much-needed protection for Aaron Rodgers there to round out the top 10. 11, we find the Minnesota Vikings going with Jared Verse, the edge rusher out of Florida State, who seems to be one of the safest picks potentially in this April's draft. Well, 12, the Broncos find Russell Wilson's replacement. They go with J.J. McCarthy, the quarterback out of Michigan, who led the Wolverines to a national title this past season. There are some questions about J.J. McCarthy as far as how can he lead a team. When you look at J.J. McCarthy, he was very accurate, a very good runner, but never was asked to do a ton to carry a team on his back. Here's what Field Yates had to say in regards to J.J. McCarthy. McCarthy is an accurate mechanic with very good mobility. Scouts believe he offers more as a thrower than we saw during his last season at Michigan, when the Wolverines leaned heavily on a dominant defense and run game. Now, let's ask you, what about the Broncos? Should Sean Payton go get J.J. McCarthy? Should he be his guy? Weigh in, tell us what you think. Y for yes, in for no, if the Broncos should draft J.J. McCarthy or not. 13, the Las Vegas Raiders, they go defense, get some help at the defensive line with Texas star Byron Murphy with the selection. Well, 14, the Saints, they reach for one of the most interesting projects in this year's draft, Tyler Guyton, just a really mammoth of a human being at 6'7", still kind of a work in progress, but seems to be headed the right direction out of Oklahoma there at 14. 15, the Colts go with Terrion Arnold, the corner out of Alabama. Well, the Seahawks at 16, they get quite the steal here. The best tight end we've seen in many, many years, and one of the best players in college football the last 3 years, Brock Bowers out of Georgia, who I believe is a generational talent. Seattle, they've had some decent tight ends from Noah Fant to Will Dissly and Colby Parkinson, but haven't really been able to get the full potential out of those guys. New head coach Mike McDonald coming in. Watch out. Brock could be a very nice fit for that Seattle offense with Geno Smith and company taking them to another level. 17, the Jags, they go offensive line. They find center Jackson Powers Johnson out of Oregon, who's believed to be the best center in this year's draft. The Bengals, they go offensive line as well with Talise Fago, the offensive tackle out of Oregon State. Well, at 19, the Rams, they get help in the secondary as they draft Quinion Mitchell, the corner out of Toledo, who's seen his stock quickly rise up over the last couple of weeks. And then at 20, this one might shake some heads a little bit. The Steelers find a replacement for Kenny Pickett already after 2 seasons, going with Bo Nix, the quarterback out of Oregon. He was the nation's most accurate passer in 2023, but had an up-and-down career. Started at Auburn and really struggled facing SEC defenses, had a nice finish to his career with the Oregon Ducks. But what about Pittsburgh in this situation? And what do you do with Kenny Pickett and all that? Here's more from Field Yates. The Steelers' ceiling with Pickett under center is too low for a franchise with a standard that is not simply making the playoffs, but making deep runs. Pittsburgh has lost 5 straight playoff games. Yates goes on to say, Nix blends sharp accuracy with some razzle-dazzle, something he refined during his college career after transferring from Auburn, and a ability to quickly scan the field and deliver the right read. So, what do you guys think of Bo Nix? Are you buying or selling Bo Nix? Do you believe in him? Is he a legit NFL quarterback at the next level? He's a little bit older, too. Weigh in, tell me what you think. B for believe, D for don't. All right, 21, the Miami Dolphins. They go offensive guard out of Washington. Troy Fortuna with the pick. While at 22, the Eagles go defensive back, Nate Wiggins, corner out of Clemson. And then at 23, the Houston Texans go with Ennis Rakeshaw Jr., the corner out of Mizzou. His draft projections kind of all over the place. I've seen everything from fourth round to late first round with him. So that's interesting to see Houston go that route there. 24, the Dallas Cowboys. They go with Edgerrin Cooper, the linebacker out of Texas A&M. And then at 25, the Green Bay Packers go with Cooper DeJean, the corner out of Iowa, with the selection. Many believe is the best corner in this year's draft, and yet is not the first or second corner taken in this mock draft. 26, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers go with Graham Barton, the offensive guard out of Duke. Some much-needed protection for Baker Mayfield and company there. The Cardinals, with their next pick in the first round, they go with J.C. Latham, the offensive tackle out of Alabama. 28, the Buffalo Bills. They go Brian Thomas Jr., wide receiver out of LSU. A lot's been made about Malik Nabers, but his teammate is believed to be a great receiver in his own right. Most projections are showing Thomas at 15. What a steal this could potentially be for the Bills if he's still around at 28. Here's more from Field Yates on that situation. No player scored more receiving touchdowns in 2023 than Thomas with 17, and his deep speed and acceleration might be unparalleled in this class. The Bills have relied on Gabe Davis as a deep threat in recent seasons, but he's a free agent. He's been up and down contributor. 9 games last season with 2 or fewer catches. Thomas would provide a vertical spark for Josh Allen and a Buffalo offense that did not produce a single play of 20-plus yards in its divisional round loss to Kansas City. At 28, the Detroit Lions go with Darius Robinson, the edge rusher out of Mizzou. The Ravens, they go defense. They need some help in that secondary at that corner spot. They find Kamari Lassiter out of Georgia. Very young player, still developing in his own right. 31, the Niners, they go offensive line with Amarius Mims out of Georgia. And then rounding out the draft at number 32, we find Adonai Mitchell, the star receiver at the University of Texas, a big, deep threat and would be a nice addition potentially for Patrick Mahomes in that offense. Have a nice weapon alongside Rashee Rice and Travis Kelce there. Here's more from Field Yates on Adonai Mitchell to Kansas City. The Chiefs' wide receiver issues are no mystery, and Mitchell would help the cause. The 6'4", 196-pounder is silky smooth when running routes and has the frame and length to make his mark down the field and in the red zone. So there you have it. There is Field Yates' first-round mock draft, all 32 picks. How did Field Yates do? Grade it for me in the comments section. Let us know what you think, and we'll see you next time here on NFL Daily.